Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to another session to Thinking and Destiny. We are in a very good force, or a very good flow in understanding how our thoughts are creating our mental destiny. What is mental atmosphere? What kinds of thinking? All the things we are learning. So before we go further well into the subject, let us connect to the consciousness of Percival and let his wisdom, what he's trying to say to every one of us, flow through to every one of us in today's session. So please sit in a meditative posture, cross your legs, clasp your hands and close your eyes. Please observe your normal, soft, tranquil breath. How your vital energy is flowing through your breath to each and every part of your body. We understand not only just the breath, we are also breathing in the thoughts which came near to you, which are staying in a mental atmosphere. Those thoughts will go through your breath into you, into your body, and can attract your feelings and desires. Through breath only, the soul goes into you and you are causing to give a birth. So the breath is such a powerful element. Observe that breath. When you are with the breath, you can't be with any other thought, as Gautama Buddha says. Slowly observe your in-breath, how your vital energy is flowing. Notice your breath. Slowly place your hands on your eyes for a few seconds and open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face. Before we go further into the session, let's have a recap of what we learned in the previous session. Karuna, over to you.
Welcome, Masters. Welcome, everyone. Before I begin, I pay my respects to Pita Mahapatriji and Swarnamala Madam. Thank you. We talked about mental destiny last week, section 5. So we talked about moral aspect of thinking, mental atmosphere, sense knowledge, triune self, visiting thoughts, and group destiny. Let's go one by one quickly. The first one is moral aspect of thinking. It's mainly with the moral aspect of thinking that we do in our day-to-day lives. So it means the relationship of the doer, especially when we talk about doer, we talk about feeling and desire, and to the thinker, that is rightness and reason. Most thinking typically done during our daytime work, trade, or profession. It doesn't seem to have much to do with morals, and yet what is done in trade or profession is based on moral condition of the mental atmosphere, which is driven by feeling and desire. So that's why feeling and desire of the doer forms the basis for moral background of mental atmosphere, which is also known as mental attitude. Next one is mental atmosphere. The present life of every human's mental atmosphere is dominated by a ruling thought, and this came into existence at the end of previous life. The cycles of all thoughts of a life run together at the time of death, and from these thoughts, the ruling thought of the next life is formed, and it also forms the destiny of that soul. So it manifests at various periods throughout life. It helps to determine mental atmosphere of a human and helps to determine the manner in which one views other people and the world. Mental destiny relates to that part of mental atmosphere in which the thinker contacts heart and lungs, and this is in which the ruling thought moves. So it influences his thinking. It brings up subjects of thought. It leads him to junction of time, condition, and place, where a part of that can be exteriorized as an act. So mental set is what a man has set himself to do. For example, painter, inventor, stockbroker, and all this is determined by love, bigotry, and similar sentiments, and their passion towards that. So mental attitude and mental set toward any subject are part of his mental destiny. So they are brought about into the forth by his past thinking and his past thoughts relating to his experiences and understanding. Similar thoughts will be nourished. So these make our mental destiny sour, bitter, or sweet, grasping or generous, or cheerful or depressive. So mental atmosphere affects his mental destiny directly. It precipitates or postpones events. His own thoughts and thoughts of others with whom he comes in contact are also affected. So an attitude of fear may precipitate destiny. It may anticipate and project what would otherwise not have happened then. So it says fear sometimes drives, it makes one to, precipitate events so that it will happen quickly. So one's mental attitude is not only an important part of his mental destiny, it is also potent. It also plays a vital role in making future mental destiny because it prepares for the conception and entertainment of thoughts. So that's why it's always important to have good thoughts, to inculcate, to cultivate good neutral to positive to miraculous thoughts for any life in any on our eternal journey. In present life especially. And the next one is sense knowledge. Mental atmosphere. In mental atmosphere, there is also sense knowledge. It is acquired by body mind from the mass of records brought in by the four senses. And it is also tied up with the records of what is in the breath form. So what is it? The form is come into effect after death when that form is broken up. So sense memories cause passive thinking, which become thoughts, and they are foundation and limits of the knowledge of the human. That's why what we consume through our senses is also influencing mental atmosphere. So that's why it's important to watch out what you are consuming from your senses. Next one is triune self. Knowledge of the triune self is not available to body mind. Sometimes it is available when an action or inaction has a moral aspect. Knowledge of this triune self spontaneously comes through rightness and is known as conscience. Conscience is not part of MA, but not the sum of knowledge as what should not be done, acquired by the doer on any moral subject. It does not instruct, does not argue. It speaks of questions of right or wrong action from a moral point of view only. Light of intelligence shows the way to human, and if it goes wrong, and if he goes wrong by the light, conscience forbids. A know from conscience means sum of doer's knowledge what he should do or should not do in any given situation. So, and there's one important point. There is a constant communication between the knower. If you remember, we have this knower and the rightness. Rightness comes into think zone, mental destiny. So there is a constant communication between the knower and rightness. It is an inaudible voice. And so conscience puts its mark on a thought which it disapproves. This mark is a balancing factor and remains on and with the thought as long as the thought loss its destiny. This destiny is 4 kinds. So the reaction of doer and psychic destiny, and results produced on its mind by the doer is mental destiny. The freeing of the light by desire is noetic destiny. If we remember, we have 4 destiny: physical destiny, psychic destiny, mental destiny, and the noetic destiny. So the physical impression on the physical body for reaction that we do at the form level in the doer is, it forms a psychic destiny, and results produced 1 level up is on in the mind. The freeing of the light by desire is noetic destiny. So a thought has life cycle. It forms a cycle like this. And then there is, we talked about visiting thoughts. Mental atmosphere of human beings circulates not only their own thoughts, but also thoughts of others. Yeah, our mental atmosphere attract thoughts of others. And thoughts are sociable like human beings, their parents, they group together. Solitary thoughts are exception. Visiting thoughts are attracted to an atmosphere with similar aim, usually make an opening for them. Thoughts are hindered getting into a destiny. Yes?
No, you got stuck, right? So last we missed. Okay.
You missed which part? Visiting thoughts?
Yes, after visiting thoughts.
Okay. So visiting thoughts is our atmosphere also attract some thoughts. So it basically the visiting thoughts we will be able to attract only if we have similar nature. So visiting thoughts are attracted to an aim, usually make an opening for them. And some thoughts are hindered getting into our atmosphere when mind in it are unfriendly and oppose. Thoughts of human, when it visits atmospheres of others, comes back vitiated or improved. Vitiated
Okay, Karuna, I think it's from your side, it's network is...
birds of similar kind flock together. So thoughts also, a group of people having similar thoughts flock together, and it forms their group destiny. So thoughts are mixed with thoughts and interests of others. Attachments, dislikes, and interest entangle everyone. So doers share part of each other's destiny. Could be fellows in marriage, in families, in social, religious, or political communities. These are the concepts we talked about in last session. I know it went long, but every point is an important thing. So it was I needed to recap almost all the important points. Thank you, madam. Back to you.
Thank you, Karuna, for a quick recap. Yeah, she said she has to give all the definitions of various things, like what are the visiting thoughts, what are the group destiny, all those things. So let us continue the same topic, which we have not completed by the last class. The same session, the same section 5, I guess. Just a minute. Okay. Today's session, we will talk about whatever the remaining topics. Honest thinking, what is a thinking circuit, and what is dishonest thinking? How does it affect our mental atmosphere? Our mental atmosphere, how does it affect your thinking? So these are the concepts which I left in the section 5. Then we'll go with the section 6, which is responsibility and duty. Who defines, how we know what is our responsibility, what is our duties, and what is sense knowledge, and what is a sense learning, and what is doer learning, and what is the doer knowledge. So these are the concepts which I'm going to cover today, which I plan to cover, I can say. Okay, how far I can cover, we'll see in the due course. So if I come, honest thinking. So if it is, as we say, there is a mental atmosphere where whatever the thoughts that you released and your friends, the people around you are released, have been in the mental atmosphere. If the thoughts of the similar people are coming together, and those thoughts are also flock together, and they'll try to exteriorize for all those set of people. Okay, so the character, now here, the character of this mental atmosphere, how it is. It could be even not only the people thinking, even the character of that mental atmosphere also, it can be honest or it can be dishonest. How the thinking can be honest or dishonest? See, there are 10 people who are thinking in the same direction. Their thoughts, they have released it, right? So if they are honestly thinking and the thoughts that they have released is in that honest, then that particular atmosphere will be honest atmosphere. If all those 10 people are thinking, they're thinking ill about something else, so that atmosphere also will be dishonest. That is why you say, you feel like whenever you go to some places, you feel like, okay, this is not the place I could stay. I'm feeling some kind of negative force or negative energy kind of thing. You don't feel like sitting there, because that atmosphere itself was a dishonest or polluted with some other thoughts which are not matching up to your energies, I can say. Okay, so similarly the other way, so some people, if you go, you wanted to stay only for 10 minutes and come back, but you will stay there and you'll talk for an hour because the topic may be interesting, or your energies and their energies got matched and you started talking the interesting topic, you'll spend more time with them. So the atmosphere itself will also influence your thinking, the honest or dishonest atmosphere of it. When honest thinking, so when honest thinking is honest, so whenever your thinking is honest, it then respects the morals of an affair as shown in the rightness. So whatever the thinking is, when you say it is honest, so whenever some thought came, some thinking came in your mind, and your conscience is there, which will tell you righteousness or wrong. It will give you a stamp, whether it's a righteousness or not, and it will give you the reason as well, right? So when you are honoring that, your thinking is honest. When you're honoring, when you're saying, shut up, I will go in my, I wanted to go, whatever I wanted to do it, then your thinking will be dishonest. So honest thinking is nothing but truth. Truth itself is honest thinking. What is truth again? That's a question. So if it is truth is only the honest thinking, what is the truth? truth is that which exists. The truth is that which actually it is. If I'm thinking that Prasanna means this body and Prasanna means this is a profession, so then I'm not thinking honest, because it is not the truth. So how come it is not the truth? This is not the truth because we are not our bodies. We are just coming to this world to experience something through this body. We are not our bodies. So I gave you an example previously also, like to understand why we are not our bodies. When we are in the deep sleep, when we had a very hard day, or when very tiring day, you will go very in a deep sleep, and the next day morning we'll get up. I slept like a baby. I got a very good sleep. When you are saying I got a very good sleep, you already slept and you don't know what happened in the sleep, but still you are saying I got a very good sleep. Actually, your body slept. It is not your senses slept, but you are saying that I got a very good sleep, which means that I is different from your senses. I is different from your body. This is a simple example that you can say you are not your body. So that is the truth. So the truth itself is a pure light of consciousness, the pure light of intelligence, right? So that is the actual truth. So once you know the truth, when you are thinking as a soul, when you are thinking, when you are at that soul consciousness, then you are thinking at the righteousness. When you are thinking at the honest thinking, that you can say. If you are thinking, if you are with the body mind, if you are thinking that, okay, me, myself, my body, my family, my things, then you are not in the honest thinking, because you are not catch hold of the right things. You yourself did not catch the truth. When you catch hold of the truth, you will always be in the righteous thinking, and you will honor the righteous thinking, which is called the honest, that you can say the honest thinking. It respects, honest thinking respects truth, only the truth itself, nothing else. It is the truth. The truth is nothing but the pure light of intelligence, or pure light of consciousness, pure light of intelligence. That is the truth. So it never disregards whatever your conscience is saying. Whatever your sense is saying may be wrong, but whatever your conscience saying will never be wrong. Whatever that feeling, inner feeling that you are getting whenever you are doing, that is the righteousness. Where can I think the righteous thinking? There is nothing. Just be calm and listen to your inner voice. So when you are listening to the inner voice, it will say the moral aspect of an affair. Whatever that you are doing, right, it will tell you the moral aspect of affair. This is right because of this reason. Think in this right direction. But you will find a reason not to think in that direction. No. Because of my family, I'm doing this. Because they are my kids, I'm doing. So we'll try to find something else, some reason, in order to avoid this righteous thinking and go in our own way, because whatever I wanted to have, I wanted to do that, that is not the honest thinking. Whenever you are honoring your righteousness within you, whenever you are honoring your inner feelings, whenever you are honoring your conscience, that is the righteous thinking. That is the source of honest. That is the source of test to your test. That is a test to your righteousness. That is a test to your honesty. So it is always, you always go with that honesty. Your righteousness, right, morally shows. It shows you are morally fit or not. Your righteousness tell you it is morally fit or unfit. Whatever that you are conducting, mental conduct, right, it will give you the answer whether you are morally right or not. That holding that pure light or pure righteousness, get a spark. So whenever you are holding that, it will get you a pure spark, and it will give you the selfness. So you will be able to go to that soul consciousness. If you are holding, even if you are holding a diffuse light in the mental atmosphere, if you are holding it, because we have not yet reached that knower portion. We have only that diffuse light. Even if you are holding that diffuse light also, if you are holding it very consciously, then you can be enlightened with the truth. Once you understand the truth, then once you understand the truth, you are responsible for your honest thinking. You know what exactly. So the people who are coming here, all of us, it is not that we do not know the truth. We know the truth, but only thing is how much responsible for our honest thinking. You know that you are not your body. You know that you are not your senses. You know that you should be in the soul consciousness. All these things, the facts were given to you. The truth was given to you. Now, what is the responsibility? The responsibility is how far actually we are. You are actually taking, or you are actually doing that in your day-to-day life. How far you are thinking that honest thinking in your day-to-day life. Are you are responsible for actual that one. Honest thinking is a normal for an honest mental atmosphere. When the surrounded mental atmosphere is very honest, it will be very normal, and it will come automatically. That is why people will say surrounded by the people who are similar kind, or who are so you will be influenced by the people, not only by the people, even by the atmosphere also. If you remember the Gandhi story, so Gandhi went and eats in a place where he's a thief or something. So when he eat the food prepared by him in his home, that atmosphere itself makes something, and he got some glass or something, and he came out, because that atmosphere itself is not honest. So because of that, even for him, it make the dishonest person, because his thinking started dishonest. So he started. So the atmosphere that you are living is also very important. You have to be, you have to take care of that. The pure light, which righteousness is, that spark of selfness, right? And will enlighten a man, and he will think. It makes the man to think honestly or dishonestly. Honesty is the mental. It is not the psychic issue. It is your mental. It is in the mental atmosphere. So you have to consciously think whether you are doing the honest thinking or not. When there is actually desire for honesty, when you want it to be honesty, then there is no chance that you will go into the dishonest thinking, because you always wanted to have that honest. When you know that this is the truth, when you want to be the soul consciousness, there is no question that you will go into the dishonest thinking. Whatever you do will always be the honest. Okay, that is what the honest thinking. Here the definition part of that honest thinking. Next comes to the desires. Okay, because desires is the one which makes you to think honest or dishonest, how far you are able to control these things, right? Remember, desires cannot control by itself. You cannot control desires by itself. So the desires is either controlled by the nature, or by your four senses, or by the rightness and reason. These are the three things that a desire can control. By nature, because nature has so many things, and your indriyas will get attracted. So much of the things you can desire the thing. When you see a beautiful flower, you may say that, oh, the flower is so nice, and you can come back. The other way is you can just pluck it and you wanted to keep it with you. Or you can pluck it and you wanted to give it to the God. So many thoughts may come. So these are all the desires, can either be influenced by the nature, or by your four senses, or by the righteousness, or the reason. Righteousness or the reason. These are the things that any desires can. At present, the desires are controlled by the nature, nature that the desire can hold. So the desires are controlled by the nature. Desire is usually, so what is the desire? Usually, what is the desire that we will have? Usual desires of ours is comfortness. I want to live in a comfort life. That is a very usual desire for all of us. So once I got the first thing is needs. So we crossed the needs. We had a food, we had a good shelter, we had all the things, basic needs, we had a enough clothing. So then your desires, will you start there? Then you wanted to have a comfortable life. So I wanted to have a good home, then a car to travel here and there, a nice clothes. So all the things will come. So you acquire those things also. Then what will happen? First needs, basic needs, then comforts. Then also your wish list is not completed. Then you wanted to have the luxuries. Once all the luxuries came into the picture, then, oh, I don't want to work. I got everything I want. I just wanted to sit and relax, want to go for holidays and come back. That's a laziness. So these are all the things which are coming as a desires. It is not the opposites are not the desires. Opposites are the different things. Okay, these are all the desires that we usually get into, that comforts, positions. I want that, I want this luxury life, then laziness, but never be the opposite conditions. So some desires control other desires. Some of the desires, they, suppose you wanted to be very honest, okay, in your work or whatever the thing. When you are very honest, then you may not able to get your comfort life or a luxury life that you are actually wanting it. So your desires may dominate the other desire. Because you wanted to have some comfort life, you may be dishonest in some things. You may be your thinking may change because you wanted to have some kind of luxury life. So some desires will control the other desires also. People who are under the domination of the nature, so whatever the nature domination, right, they will be dishonest, because nature and senses want so many things. These, when whoever they won't be in the righteousness and reasoning. So once you are with the righteousness and reasoning, then only you can be the honest. Otherwise you will be the dishonest person. This is how our desires affect our thinking, our honest thinking. Okay. Next comes to the circuit of thinking. How this circuit of thinking will happen, right? So whatever I mentioned, right? When ordinary nature affects your feeling, some good smell came, let us take some good smell, some desire will start. Okay. That passes. Whenever that desire passes, that passes on the impressions of the righteousness or okay, when that comes, oh, no. Even though it is not ours, you should not go, or you should not take go after this. So some righteousness is coming and telling you that though this is not the right way of thinking. So again the reasoning, no, I want to enjoy this thing also. So some other reasoning will come. Everybody is doing that. It is not only me. Why can't I go and have that one? Why can't I go and eat that one? So even though your conscience is saying that this is not the righteousness coming, you are finding other reasons, because whatever you wanted to get, you can get it by giving your own reasons, right? Your own reasons. I'm not only one, there are hundreds of people are doing, so I'm also doing it. Okay, something kind of thing you are going and get. So you are struggling between this righteousness and reasoning. So that circuit is actually going on this. When this changes, when the change takes place, the desire wants to be right. When the desire, no, I don't want to be the wrong, I always wants to be right, then what will happen? You will suppress that feeling. No, this feeling is not right feeling. That impression, whatever that nature is giving, that is not the right feeling. My conscience is not working out. So your circuit will be plain circuit. Your desire, your feeling came, your desire came. From desire, you are going to the righteousness. It is not approved. Then you are going to the next thing. So it's simple. But suppose your desire came, your feeling came, righteousness does not approve. Go to the reasoning. Then try to do that. So you are actually going between the righteousness and reasoning thing. So I'll just show you how the circuit will be there. I need not stop it. Are you able to see my screen now? Okay. See here. This is the sense government. Okay. Here, because whatever the other nature it is doing, right? That is the sense government. In the sense government, if you see the rightness. So here the nature, but the first one is the nature impressions affect your feeling. Nature, whenever that impression affect your feelings where it is starting with your kidneys, it is affecting kidneys and it starts. So from that feeling, the desire starts. Desire is going to the adrenals. So from that it is going. So from here it is going to the righteousness where the heart is there. It is telling whether it is a right or not. Okay, right. And if it is says right, and if you are cool, then you can stop or go, whatever the righteousness say. Otherwise, it will go to the reasoning part, lungs part, and it will say, okay, you'll find the reason. This reason could be a right reason or a wrong reason. From there again to the nature or a feeling comes. This is all. Suppose whenever you are doing that right thing, you will have a good satisfaction. Okay, today I did a great thing. Suppose whenever your conscience is saying and you are just suppressed and you will have that guilt. So again, that feeling is there in your nature, whatever the thing that you are doing. So this is how your sense government, as for the picture of the left, This is your sense government. How does your self-government within, right? This is outside the government. Within, how it is. Your feeling comes, it goes to the desire, it goes to the reasoning, okay? It goes to right or wrong. So it goes to the heart and then feeling. So it is a very simple, straight thing. And if in this, within the government, the consent says, this reason, don't do this. This reason, do this. So in this way, the right side shows your self-government and the left side shows your sense government. When your thinking is adhered, or when your thinking is dominated by your senses, you will be in the dishonest thinking. When your thinking is dominated by your conscience or the knowledge that is coming from within, then in that case you will be in the honest thinking. That is what here he is saying. Let us go back to our presentation. That is the circuit of thinking. Okay, I think it is not came. I have to stop and share. Stop, share. Okay, circuit of thinking, that is. Then comes to the honest thinking again. Honest thinking means it is only the truth. As I said, honestly, when you are thinking, you will be very truthful. Honest thinking, you will have a simplicity life. You will always strive for a justice. Rectitude means you will be morally right thinking. So rectitude is morally right thinking. If you are not thinking honestly, you will not be morally right. So whenever you are doing this truth, simple, sincere, justice, and morally right, what you will get it? What are the characteristics you will get it? You will be fearless. You will not hesitate to say anything because you are talking truth. Your thinking is very honest. You are talking only truth. Nothing but truth you are talking. So you will be very fearless. You will not think about what the other person will think or anything. That kind of hesitations will not be there within you. Okay, and you will be very calm, and you will have a lot of strength to say it, because you are in the right path. You are in the honest thinking. So all the entire universe will be with you because you are in the honest thinking. Entire universe will try to help you out whatever the way you are doing. Every the wish or that the thinking that you are doing, the universe will be with you. All the universe forces will try to help you out what you are trying to manifest it, because you are very honest in doing it. That's the reason. Okay, he could not even contemplate any act concerning. He could not speak truthful act sincerity. He could not even contemplate or any concerning which he could not speak truthfully. If he is not talking truthfully, he cannot contemplate and get the words also, because when you are in honest thinking, you'll try to grab the words, because you yourself, your conscience is saying that this is not the right thinking. Then you will try to find the words, because it is not your way of thinking, right? So he leads a righteous life all the time. These honest thinking persons will always go with the righteous life only. He'll not lead any life that he is a dishonest or anything. Okay, that is about honest thinking. So coming back to the dishonest thinking or dishonest. So when your atmosphere is having a dishonest atmosphere, so many people are thinking alike, and that atmosphere you are there, then your thinking will be dishonest. However honest you are, if you are in that dishonest atmosphere for a longer time, those thoughts will come and grab you thing. So you may not think that this is a negative or anything, because as opposites existing in the world, as long as the honest thinking is existing, the dishonest thinking is also existing. Because when you have to balance some of the acts, whenever you have to balance of your karmic bondages or anything, you will not be the righteous person. Always your will is there, always your free will is there to drag you to the righteousness. It is all your how strong you are. But dishonest thinking is about thinking what it is not. What is the truth? What is not the truth? If you are thinking, just it's opposite of thinking what is not, then you are in the dishonest thinking. Dishonest thinking is the thing dealing with the things that are not of true in nature. So whatever the way you are seeing the things, you are just thinking, but you are not seeing that the things behind it. And your heart means your righteousness, which is giving, is not approving your thought. Even though it is not approving your thought, you are dealing with that thought. So then it is a dishonest thinking. That's how it goes. Whatever one sees, the thinking again is the way, the being seen it is the thinking what is to be the false. That kind of thinking, if you are taking, it is a dishonest. It comes from the results, from the demands to satisfy your feeling. From where it is coming? To satisfy your feelings. You wanted to eat something, you wanted to drink something, which is not a right thing, it's not your right for your health, or it is not a righteous way of doing, but you have that strong feeling that you wanted to have it, right? So that feeling is actually, to satisfy that feeling, you are going to the dishonesty. You are just making shut your conscience, and you are going and doing that dishonest thinking. Desire is neither honest nor desire. It wants what it wants. That's all. Whatever the desire you got it wants whatever it wants. It is not, it won't even think about honest thinking or desire. It is not controlled by your righteousness. It is not controlled. It has its own reasons, because it wants what it wants. There are people, you must have seen, they will do anything, whatever the thing that they think they want it, right? So this is this kind of people. So dishonest people, they want it. They also know what is the right or not, because everybody is having that knower within us. Everybody is having that conscience within us, but they are actually making the conscience shut, and they are doing it. It is controlled by the nature, override by the righteousness, and makes the thinking serve the feeling. They are all serving that. They are serving their senses, their feelings. Okay, they are just serving their feeling. They are not serving their righteousness. They are serving the feelings. That is what they are doing in this dishonest thinking. That's what here is saying. It sacrifices the feeling and tries to kill it in order to be increased as a desire and power. It is sacrificing and try to kill. What it is trying to kill? Your consciousness, it is trying to kill, because your desire is became more power. There are intense selfishness. This thinking is intense selfishness, and with the corruption. Suppose if you see, there are leaders with the intense corruption, right? So they have the dynasty politics, or labor unions, or religion, even in the religious institutions also. So they have a lot of selfishness within them. So with all this selfishness, their thinking is not honest thinking. So they will go, because they want power, they want money, all these things. Because of this, they can do anything. So well, they wanted to do it, they have to cut down their righteousness only. Dishonest thinking at home creates dishonest atmosphere. Suppose at home, if many people are in the dishonest thinking, the home atmosphere itself is dishonest. Then the same dishonest atmosphere only your kids will grow. So the later, what will happen? That exteriorizes the lies, fraud, corruption. All these things will be coming into the home, because of the atmosphere itself is a dishonest. So lying is a special kind of dishonest thinking. Lying, when you are having the dishonest atmosphere, when you are having the dishonest, then whatever your conscience says, you will just stop it, and then you will have the dishonest and the lying thing also, you will be doing it. Okay, and the examples are like blackmailers, hard-hearted people. All these people are actually, what they are doing is this dishonest. So why they are doing it? They want some power. They are attracted to the power, or they are attracted to the money or anything. So the dishonest is a home for the thinking is when there is a home for dishonest atmosphere, all the people in that home will be thinking only the dishonest thinking only will come. All the lies, fraud, corruption will come from that particular home. So this is what the thinking circuit, honest thinking and dishonest thinking. So these people were like lying, or they are self-pity, self-conscious. So they'll have all kind of negative atmosphere and negative qualities. They will get into themselves. Okay, With this, we can conclude our session of that section 5. Okay. There is a lot you can go in the honest how they have given a very kind of like very detailed explanation, like you have to remove that fog, whatever that thing is, right? How when the dishonest atmosphere is there, how you can become the honest. It is only that fog is there. So when you are listening to your conscience, how you can listen to your conscience when you are actually silent, and when you can do your inner voice, then it will always says, it is not that because it is a dishonest atmosphere you will never get the truth, nothing like that. Even when you are in the dishonest atmosphere, if you wanted to listen to your voice, do calm down and listen to your do the meditation and listen to your inner voice. You will always get the truth. When you are getting the truth, go into that righteousness, go into, because your light will be clearer and you will be more active. When it is a more active, the light, you can focus your diffuse light also more focusedly on the truth. When you are able to more focus on the truth, then you are able to understand what is actually the right thinking. When you are able to understand what is the right thing, you always can go to the honest thinking. Not that when the home atmosphere is dishonest, everybody should go to the dishonest thinking. It is nothing like that. Your meditations, your the calming down, your inner voice listening, conscious listening will always help to understand what is right, what is the righteous way of thinking. Okay. With this, I'll conclude that session and we'll go to the next section, which is here we talk about the responsibility, duty and responsibility, and we talk about sense knowledge and sense thinking and sense knowledge, and do your thinking and do your knowledge. These are the concepts which was covered in section 6 of this mental destiny. So what is this? Man is responsible for what? Because after listening all these things from these classes, can you just give me 1 or 2 words? Man is responsible for what? Is he responsible for God, or is he responsible for what exactly? What do you think? Anybody in the chat, please. Even today's class also you can say. Man is responsible for what? No answers? Responsible for taking care of family and society. Okay. Anything else? I want the right answer. Yes, Pushpa. Responsible taking care of his own thoughts. That's right. And his own mental development. He's responsible for his destiny of his thinking. Yes. Okay. I can say after listening all these things, you are responsible for your own thoughts, because your thoughts is the one which is making your destiny, your thoughts. So you're taking care of the family, taking care of society. All these things comes from with the starting of the thought only, right? So we'll see what is responsible. Man is responsible for mental atmosphere, what you are creating it, because whatever the thoughts you are releasing it, those thoughts are colliding with the other thoughts, and those thoughts are affecting your other persons in your family or the atmosphere wherever you are. So first you are responsible for mental atmosphere that you are creating. So mental atmosphere, how it is getting created, whatever the thoughts you are actually releasing it. So whatever the thought you are releasing, that should always be a righteous thought. So start from there. Whatever the thought. So whenever the wrong thought, wrong thinking comes, wrong thought, I cannot say thought will conceive only when you are actually repeated thinking only, the thought will conceive. So whenever the thinking stage itself, negate your thinking whenever you think that it is not the right. You are responsible for your honest or dishonest thinking. Which way your thinking is there. You are responsible for your good and evil acts, whatever that you are doing. You are responsible for your desires and feelings. What desires you are actually wanted, what feelings you are having it. You are responsible for what happens, what he does, and what he has, and what happens to him. You are responsible for what he has, what he does. Suppose you have a lot of money, let us take. So you are thinking, oh, this is all hard-earned money, so I can do whatever I want. What is the wrong in it when I have my own comforts? You are thinking that from where you got that money? From where we got that money? We didn't bring the money from somewhere. When we are born, everybody born as the same. From where we got that money? We took it from this earth only, from this earth only. So when we got that money, means we have some responsibility. It is not to just to enjoy that thing, enjoy all the things and then go from here. That is not the thing. You were given such oh no, I worked hard, or I studied hard. So you are given a privilege of education. You are given a privilege to work in a good form and earn a good amount of money. You were given, you didn't get it. You are born like any other person, but you were given a great privilege of education, great privilege of earning, great privilege of doing this, because you wanted to do that. Whatever that you have it, how you have to spend, what happens, whatever that you are spending, right? That also you are responsible. If you are merely spending on your luxuries, then you are not actually utilizing the wealth that was given to you in this lifetime. So everything, not only thought, everything that you are spending also, how you are responsible for it. You are responsible for your subjective, mental, psychic, and objective physical conditions of which he is making. Whatever the things that you are making, you are responsible for that. You are responsible for thinking he does around the thoughts of others, because whatever the thoughts you are doing, the other thoughts are also colliding, and you are influencing the other thoughts, and other thoughts are influenced by you. So everything, if you see all the things, everything you are responsible. Not that the family and all comes, but you are responsible. By doing all these things, you have to take care of the family. I'm not saying the family is not important. Family is important to take care with all these qualities. Okay. Suppose the kid is you are given a birth to kids, and you are not raised them properly. You are not raised in a good mental atmosphere. You are not raised with the honest thinking. Then they became thieves, or they became something else, and they are like, who is responsible? You are responsible, because you created that kind of environment. You created that such a kind of thoughts. You indulged that such a kind of thoughts in them. So you are solely responsible for that. He is aware of. So here you are aware of that present life, right? Oh, I know. I never did anything wrong to anybody. I never wronged any people. Then why such conditions occur in my life? You are aware of the present life. So you are actually thinking only, you attached yourself to that thinking and you are acting accordingly. But you are not aware of your previous, you are not conscious of your previous life. Because you are not conscious of your previous life, is it not your responsibility? It is your responsibility, because in that lifetime, you have released some of the thoughts. Those thoughts are went into the mental atmosphere and surrounding there in order to exteriorize. So because of that particular lifetime, you did some things. Those thoughts are coming and exteriorizing in this lifetime. Now you don't want to have those thoughts. You don't want to have that kind of exteriorization. But who is responsible? Because you have released those thoughts, you are responsible for those thoughts. Just a mere ignorance, because you don't know what you have released in the previous life, it doesn't mean that you are not responsible. That is an ignorance, that you don't know what you have released. That doesn't count that you are not responsible. You are still responsible for your actions, for your thoughts that you have released even in the previous lives. That the accounts that you have released, the accounts, that conditions of the previous life will have the conditions in the present life. You release so many thoughts. Those thoughts did not come. The condition and all those things did not come, right? When the condition did not come, what happens? You are not actually, you are not able to exteriorize those. But in this lifetime, those conditions came and those thoughts are getting exteriorized. Now you are saying that, oh, I never thought that. I don't want that. Why these conditions should be exteriorized? Because your previous life, you have released those thoughts and you are responsible to get the exteriorized also. He is not conscious, that's all. Because if you're not conscious, it doesn't mean that you are not responsible. Mere ignorance does not free from your responsibility, which he did in the past. Else he never gets to learn himself free himself from the past and get self-knowledge. Suppose if those things, if those karmic bondage was not exteriorized, you will never see when the life is going very smooth, when everything is going in your way, whatever the way that you want, you will never get into that kind of why is what is God, why all the things, you'll never, because you'll enjoy thinking. When you're karmic, whatever the past thoughts and past things are getting exteriorized, giving you the pain and pleasure or whatever it is, right? Then only you will get into that, what is, why these many things are happening, why only this is happening to me, when everybody is born when born the same, why some people are very like that, and some people are actually having even for the basic needs, why they are suffering. So you will get to have this kind of thinking, you will get into the, from doer to the thinker stage you will come, right? When you go to the thinker stage, then you started knowing the knower stage, but then you start introspecting yourself, and you will try to get that self-knowledge, the soul knowledge, the self-knowledge, you will get into that. So when you go to that self-knowledge, so what you will get, the knower portion you will go. When you go to the knower portion, what you will, whom you will understand about the triune self. So ultimately, what we are trying to say with all these physical destiny, psychic destiny, all the destinies, you wanted to go to that knower portion. You are the knower. You have all the knowledge within you. You are omnipresent, omniscient. So you have that knowledge. We are taking you there. Don't stop there at the doer portion. All the things that you have within you, go to that knower portion. So understand that knowledge is there in the triune self. So understand your triune self. That is what you are responsible for. One is not responsible for thinking that is done without attachment to the results. He's saying you are not responsible for, or you will not get attached when your thinking is not attached to any results. You wanted to do something. I don't know the result. I don't want any results, or I'm not attaching to that results. I'm doing my duty. Whatever the result comes. Suppose, let us take, you are you are a manager in your company, and you are doing it. Whenever you are doing, some budget cut came to your company, and then your boss asked you to reduce the staff. Okay, what you will do? So whatever the the list you say, you will see that whoever is the underperformer, or whatever the underwork people or underperformer people, you will say, okay, today is the last day and you have to go. You will say that. Do you feel any guilt over there? You will not feel, because this is my duty. This is my duty. When that something comes, even if some guilt comes also, what should I do? That order came from the top and you have to obey that. You are obeying it, right? So you are not attaching yourself to the result, how he is feeling and all those things. In that case, because you are doing it as a duty. In the same way, for anything, for any other things also, if you are doing it as a duty, then you are not attaching. So whatever the good or bad that it is coming, because there you are feeling that bad should not come to you, so then you are detaching yourself from the results, because you are feeling some kind of guilt. Oh no, this is not I did the duty, it came. So suppose, let us say the opposite scenario, right? Some opportunity is there in your office and you referred some friends, and some friends came and you got, so you feel that, oh, because of me he got a job. I have referred, that is the reason he got a job. So you try to attach yourself to that result. In the previous case, because it's a negative thing, you are trying to detach. But here, because it's a positive thing, you are trying to attach. This is not the case. In both the cases, you should be able to detach the thing. So whenever you are doing your responsibility and a duty without attaching that is what Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, without attachment of the results, if you are doing that karma, that whatever the coming, that karma, it could be positive or negative, it will not attach to you. It will not attach to yourself. In that way only you can make your karmic bondage as a zero. Otherwise, either positive or negative, whenever there is a karmic bondage, positive or negative is there, you have to come again and again and again to this world in order to get rid of this karmic bondage. Okay. What happens to a human one life is an exact retribution or a reward of that same portion of the doer that has driven the prior life. That is what exactly is saying. What is happening to me today is whatever the thoughts that I release, whatever the deeds I did it, So whether I have a positive balance or a negative balance depends on that only I will be having it. As I told you, the positive balance is 100, the negative balance is 50. The negative balance will not go 50, and only positive 50 won't come in this life. So whenever I have plus 100, minus 50, both the things I have to I have to take both of them into this life. I have to have my whatever the negative things I did it, I have to have that those kind of things or those kind of pain also I have to feel. Whatever the positive account I have to enjoy that pleasure also. So I have to enjoy both pain and pleasure. It won't get negotiated itself. Whatever the 12 portions that we see, right, in the wherever you are actually doing it, you have to, if there is anything balancing, you have to re-exist, and you have to complete your responsibility. You have to be discharged. Until then, you will come again and again. Once you know that self-knowledge, with somewhere, once you know the self-knowledge, then you will stop and think over, and then you'll try to nullify that, nullify your karmic bondage, so that you will go into the triune self. You'll go to the thinker, and then knower portion will come. So then this is an expression of the earth. This is an expression of the earth school. So whatever you do, it is written on your name, it is there, and that is the earth justice. You can say it is a Supreme Court justice or High Court justice. You say here it is the earth justice. Whatever that you do in the previous life, that is only making the current life. So where it is there, where exactly all these things are there. So whatever the previous life, whatever I did, where it is there in the mental atmosphere. Even when you are leaving, all the things are there in your mental atmosphere. It produced there from the knowledge that one has subject which he thinks. Whatever the knowledge that you are thinking, right? So that thinking it produces, and it is there in the mental atmosphere. The thoughts you released are there in the mental atmosphere. The knowledge itself is there in the mental to noetic. It will go to the complete knowledge is there in the noetic atmosphere. So it is only from your thinking of going at the spark of that, whenever you are having a flash, when it comes, you can bring that noetic atmosphere knowledge into the mental atmosphere, and then make use of for yourself. So only thing is that you should be able to go to that stage. The knowledge itself is there in that within the knower stage. Knower stage is there in the noetic atmosphere. Once you go to that noetic stage, or once you go to that knower portion, that knowledge is available. Whatever the supreme knowledge, entire knowledge is available, which is there in the noetic atmosphere. Once that you are righteous, once you are morally right, then you are able to get that knowledge, and you are able to use it. Rightness makes the human conscious of his responsibility. Righteousness you are conscious of your whatever the thing that you are doing, right? You are conscious of your responsibility. Responsibility is always calling over. Always your responsibility, your duty is only come. So how the duty you are doing, whether you are doing a right act or whether you are omitting a wrong act, in that way your responsibility will comes out. So some wrong thought came. So whether if you are omitting that is your responsibility. Something you wanted to help or something you wanted to do, if that's a right thought, then if you are acting it, that is your right. That's where either doing a right task or omitting a wrong task, that is your responsibility. That is there in the center of responsibility in the mental atmosphere. It is there. Okay, I have to stop. I couldn't prepare all the slides, but I'll continue the class for a bit, because it was not a proper thing. Proper conclusion was not happened. So human is not responsible for the God. He is not responsible for the external God. You are thinking that there is a God in the temple, there is a God, so you are responsible for him. That is why you have to do this act. Oh, God is seeing here. God is not there outside. God is there within you as a knower portion. You are responsible for that knower portion. You are responsible for that consciousness, not the expression of the God. You are responsible for your universe, the earth justice or a universe justice. You are responsible for that. So you are responsible for your feelings. You are responsible for your desires. Suppose your feelings and desires are not right. The not a right feelings are there, not the right desires are there, but you are still doing it. What will happen? That will manifest as a disease. Dis-ease. So because you are not listening to your conscience, that will manifest as a disease. Suppose you are listening to your conscience and you are doing whatever the conscience says and you are doing your righteousness, that manifests as a health. You will be very strong. You will be very fearless. Your thinkings are very clear. You are holding your light of intelligence very steadily. So you will go. Whatever you wanted to do, as I told you, the entire universe will support you and do it. So you will get that confidence. Okay, the universe will give me abundantly. I can do that. There is abundance is there in the universe. Everything. When the universe was created, when the righteous thought was created, the resources was also created in the nature. So you need not worry about those resources. When the wrong thought comes, when the wrong things when you are doing, by shutting your conscience, then only your diseases will come. That will act as a diseases on your body. Okay, remember the sum of thoughts, the sum of all your thoughts accumulated, whatever one you are thinking, right? So whatever you are thinking repeatedly, that conceives as a thought. Not that every flash of thinking will become a thought. There is a difference between thinking and thought. Thinkings are flash, so many things are coming. Like whatever those 72,000 thinking, the portion that we are doing, not that we are conceiving all 72,000 thinkings are into the thoughts. The thoughts you are manifesting again and again, thinking you want that, you are feeling and desire, you are making it strong, right? That is becoming a thought. If you are making that thought, suppose you wanted to know that self-knowledge, you wanted to be the righteousness. If you are actually thinking over and over again on that particular right thinking or a honest thinking, then that thinking will, that particular thought will conceive. Otherwise, if you are actually going to your feelings and desires, those thoughts only will conceive and you will be into the loop of, again, the balancing the thought. You will be entertained because whatever the previous life, the thoughts that are there, right? Those thoughts will come and your mind or your thing will, again, those kind of thoughts only will get nourished. They will get entertained. They will get reinforced into the life. So whether it's a positive or negative, if it is a positive, you will be able to hold the light of intelligence steadily, and you will be able to order your desires or feelings into the right way. If you are not holding that light properly, if your thinking is evil thinking or dishonest thinking, then you are not able to hold that, even the diffuser light or whatever. Even if the light of intelligence came also, you are not able. That flash of intelligence will come for everybody in a life, once in a while, but you will not be able to hold with immense interest with that. So you will be despaired. You will not be able to use that particular thinking. So your intellectual, whatever that intellectual bank which is there, you are not powering back. You are actually going with that previous lives. The thoughts are those ill thoughts will be there. So you always remember, whether you are an honest thinking or a dishonest thinking, whether your desires are honest, righteous, or desires are wrong desires, whatever desires, but your heart is always giving you the righteous way of thinking. Whether you have a diffuse light or intelligent light, supreme intelligence, everywhere your righteousness will, that may be in a dim portion, that may be in a strong portion, but righteousness is always taking. Only thing what you need is silence, that you can listen to your inner voice. Once you are able to do your inner voice, you are able to understand the things in a better way. You are able to do your duty in a better way. You are able to do the consciousness in a better way. So once you are able to consciousness, your thoughts will be in a right way. Those thoughts only will get exteriorized. Those thoughts, when those thoughts are getting exteriorized, you will be able to live in a great thing. So I'll stop here. I'm not able to cover that sense knowledge and the doer knowledge within the